Welcome to Orono on the campus of the University of Maine. They are expecting another sellout inside Alphon Arena on this Saturday night as the 5th-ranked Boston University Terriers come to town to take on number 12 Maine. It's Hockey East on Nesson on this Saturday night alongside Jim Connolly, Cooper Boardman. Thrilled you're with us on another big-time night as it usually is. And Jimmy, we had overtime in this building last night. We're hoping we get something like it for these fans tonight.
I mean, as thrilling a game as you got last night. Now, we talked to Ben Barr a few minutes ago, and he said, for the coaches, I think we'd like to see a little bit more defense, a little bit more structure. But for the fans, they got their money's worth last night.
We got 22 draft picks in this game. BU leads the way with 19 of those picks between the two teams. And we'll get to watch Cole Hudson play hockey, which almost feels like a privilege every night we get to see it.
Yeah, right now, Cole Hudson, a defenseman, he's shouldering a lot of the offensive load for this Terriers team. You know, BU has battled some early injuries. Hudson's offensive game has been so dominant. 3 goals, 12 points in just 9 games. Friday, he boasted a goal and assist. He was everywhere on the ice for this BU team. On the other side for Maine, Justin Poirier, the freshman forward. Man, is he getting it done. He's opened a lot of eyes early in the season. His offensive talents are obvious. 7 goals, 11 points in just 7 games. Maine's Ben Barr said it. He knew coming in that Poirier could score, and now he and the coaching staff, they're working on making Poirier an even complete 200-foot player.
He had the game-tying goal to force overtime in the 3rd period last night. He had the assist on the game winner in overtime. And like I said, we had 9 goals. We had an overtime period last night. We are hoping thing 6 and thing 7 will get to see something like that tonight. It's BU, it's Maine. It comes your way next from Orono when we come back. Final bars tonight from Alphon Arena of the national anthem, Keith Lewis right there. This place is sold out. This place, you can light it with the match. It is Boston University, the 5th-ranked team in the country, and the Maine Black Bears, the number 12 team in the country. Alongside Jim Connolly, Cooper Boardman, Jack Webb will join us ringside a little bit later on. And Jimmy, it's as good as it gets as you look at Mikhail Yegorov, tonight's starting goaltender for the BU Terriers.
Yeah, it's so much fun to be in this building. And Yegorov, Big Mike as they call him, that's a guy that I know that Boston University is looking for a little bit more out of in net.
See the number, 896. It's below his usual standard. That's also been the case on the other side for Maine for their regular goaltender, Albin Boya. And this is a big story for the Black Bears. We expected 30 to be in net. Well, the answer tonight is 32. Mathis Rousseau makes his 2nd career start and the biggest of his very young collegiate career.
You know what? This is a big role to put a freshman goaltender in. It shows how much faith Ben Barr must have in him to be putting him into this position. And it's not the worst thing when you have a number 1, a true number 1 like Albin Boya. Give him a night off every now and again. You can wear a goaltender out. Starting
goaltenders brought to you by Agnelli Law Offices, attorneys who once protected the Nets, but now who protect your workers' compensation rights. 5-4 overtime win in this building last night for Maine. They set this place ablaze on a Brandon Holt winner. It is the 136th all-time meeting between these two Hockey East programs. Hockey East Saturday night on Nesson from Alphon Arena. BU in the red, Maine in the white, and off we go. Cole Hudson gets it in, and BU has the first possession of the night. Terriers are the number 5 team in the country, preseason number 2, but they are 3-4-1. First test on Mathis Rousseau. He gets it out of the zone.
This has not been an easy schedule for either of these two teams out of the gate. BU especially had Michigan State at home, a 2-game sweep for Michigan State. That's a tough one to swallow.
Cole Hudson inside. Rousseau had to make a save in the second, tries a goal. Ben Merrill on cleanup duty. BU strikes 34 seconds in.
That didn't take long. And that was a very concerted attack right there. Cole Hudson basically doing a lot of it himself. Gets the original shot, but then Ben Merrill there to clean that one up. I think it was Svoboda got the original shot. Merrill out there in the slot, wide open net, able to roof that one. 34 seconds. That's the way to quiet a building.
1-0 BU before the first line change of the night. Second goal of the season for Merrill, and it beats Rousseau, making the second start of his college career. BU last night did not trail until the last moment of the game as Poirier's shot is fought off by Yegorov. Second try, they jam it in! 57 seconds, and it's Charlie Russell.
Welcome to Orono. Thank God we're back in Orono. Charlie Russell banging that one away, and this is exactly how last night happened too, Cooper. Every time BU scored, Maine had a response. We have 2 goals in 57 seconds to start. I'm so glad that this is the kind of game that we're going to get right from the jump.
As good as it gets. 9 goals between the two last night, overtime winner from Maine. Ben Merrill scores 34 seconds in for BU, and Charlie Russell blows it up. If you're just joining us, we apologize. Welcome in here to Orono, Maine. We're tied at 1 after 2 goals in the first 57 seconds of this game between number 5 BU and number 12 Maine. BU just trying to get out of their zone. They start the breakout, and it's rode off the wall by Carter Amico. Brandon Chabrier gloves it down and gets it in for Charlie Trethewey. Alongside Jim Connolly, Cooper Boardman, Jack Webb is ringside tonight. Hockey East from Nesson. At the Alphon Arena, Owen Fowler, goal transfer, backhands it off the side of the net. Sully Sholey had a goal last night. He turned it back, shoveled along. Miguel Marquez had a big goal last night, one of 3 game-time goals. Got it in, and Yegorov made a save. He had no idea where it was.
Same exact spot that Russell scored his goal from.
Doherty's point shot was knocked down. Back to the outside. Fowler plays it along, swept out in front. BU did just enough to clear. Smart play by Mick Frechette, who makes a lot of them, though he iced the puck.
You can see Maine right now. They are filtering every puck in front of the net. Anything that can get there, whether it's from a corner, whether it's from behind the net, you're just trying to filter that puck to the front, hoping for something good. You got 1 goal, you almost got a second one right there, and that there's plenty of offense suddenly for this Black Bears team, and it comes from just the simple play of getting the puck toward the net.
Maine's third line, Oscar Komarov, Thomas Bichette, and Will Gerrois. It's been Ben Barr's favorite line, their most consistent line over the start of this season. Trethewey has the face-off, but he threw it out of play. Into the sold-out crowd at Alphon Arena tonight. Building looking gleaming new after some renovations over the last few years. The best it's looked maybe in its 48 years of existence.
We had the chance to walk through the new coaches' offices and where the video room is, conference space. Very impressive. And it was something that this building needed. There's something great about an atmosphere when you can put it in college hockey, but then to build what will bring a recruit in, great weight facilities, great shooting bays, great locker rooms, all of that sort of stuff goes along with it.
Thomas Bichette battling with Gavin McCarthy on the outside. Gerrois got free, 2 men down there. Hudson cut him off. Frechette played it up the wall, shot in. It was cut off in the low slot, and Gavin McCarthy, the BU captain, following in the footsteps of his brother Case, gets it in for the Terriers.
Saw it again there. Brandon Holt has a puck on the half wall. He just sends it toward the net. It's a simple game plan for Maine right now. Get the puck to the net with bodies.
It's a case last night. BU led the game 4 different times last night. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, and so on. but Maine had the final laugh of the night, an overtime winner, 5-4 after 4 straight answers. Sasha Boumedian plays it down. Ryder Ritchie out of the WHL threw it in. It was affected. Back behind, slapped off the back of the net. Brandon Holt, the captain, who had that game winner, got in front of it, and Maine clears the zone in the opening 4 minutes of a 1-1 game in which both goals came in the first 57 seconds. Sasha Boisvert, North Dakota transfer, one of 2 on this BU roster from last year's North Dakota team. Frank Durasevich, who wears an A, takes it behind his net for safety, and maybe the first breath of the night on either side with the puck live. Black Bears at 4-2-1. Got their first Hockey East win in their first Hockey East game last night. You mentioned it earlier, they played such a tough schedule. Durasevich pinches down, tried to turn it back towards the circle. It was knocked up and back out of the zone off the sidewall. Durasevich claims it first, finds his defensive partner. Holden fires ahead. It's kicked towards the line and over, but not far. Jack Harvey, 3-on-2, drops it left. Carter Fondrick shot over to the top. It caroms all the way back out towards the blue line, and Maine can do the same. Jaden Lipinski gets it in. Freshman, one of a ton of the CHL players on both of these rosters. Chabrier with a shot pass that went wide. Behind for Coughlin, he threw it in front. Cole Hudson got a stick on it and redirected it back behind. Chabrier pinches down through the slot, comes all the way through off a misdirect and back to center. Luke Coughlin, freshman from Prince Edward Island in Canada, 6th-round pick of Florida. Got it ahead to Josh Nadeau. Question whether one of the leading scorers for Maine over the last couple of years was going to play. He played last night, working through a lower body injury, 20 in white. Now it's Coughlin. He mishandled it, clapped out of the zone. The race is on. Picked up in the O-zone for BU, and a shot. Again affected. John McNellis with the test on Mathis Rousseau.
Good speed on the outside by McNellis, and then gets a high shot off. That tested Rousseau a little bit.
One of the few non-drafted players on this BU roster on a night-to-night basis. Every single one of their forwards tonight, except for 2, are NHL draft picks, part of a 19 NHL draft pick roster for Jay Pandolfo. It's been part of the growing pains. They have all the accolades. They have guys who were All-Americans last year, the 19 draft picks. They are still the youngest team in the country, and it's why Jay Pandolfo knows there's a lot of work to be done at 3-4-1 as Yegorov covers to take us to our first time out of the night. It was chippy last night, too. We are early. It will be chippy again tonight. It's BU and it's Maine. It's Saturday Night Hockey from the Alfond Arena. We have 2 goals in the opening 6 minutes. We'll step aside for the first time tonight on NESN. Folks, build a stronger financial future with Service Credit Union. From free checking to high rate savings, learn more at servicecu.org. Welcome to Alfond, folks. Tied at 1 in the opening minute. We're 6 minutes in. Maine has it off the faceoff. Oscar Komarov on this 3rd Maine line. 2 of the older players with Thomas Pichette, joined by a freshman, Will Gerrois, tied up along the outside and kicked out of the zone. It's been hard for BU to do that. And then offside, the ultimate call. BU scored first, 34 seconds in, Jimmy. Maine came back 57 seconds in to tie it. And since then, it's been up and down and shots and everything but goals.
Yeah, I think Maine has probably liked the pace of the game since the first 2 goals. They didn't like the first shift when they gave up a goal basically right out of the gate. They responded. They've had the pace going since then. BU needs to find a way to match some of their intensity.
Gavin McCarthy, one of the few older players on the BU line chart tonight, got it in, their captain. Cole Hudson in his 2nd year, crossed to McCarthy, who threw it in wide by Mathis Rousseau, making his 2nd collegiate start in place of Albin Boya tonight. And taken out of the zone once again by Lucas Peterson, first-year defenseman out of the USHL. Emil Bednarik weaving his way in, throws it in, down to the right corner. BU changing behind Ryder Ritchie. I know you were excited to watch Ryder Ritchie tonight. Ritchie gave it away. Charlie Russell punched it back and swept out of the zone.
I saw Ryder's father play, many years ago when I worked in the American Hockey League. He was on the team, so it's great to see a 2nd generation.
Second round pick, one of a few of them on BU. Out in front, never got to Yegorov, tried to feed Durasevich, but ends up behind him. He's got to be careful with Murtag hounding him, spins away, and does throw it in. This is a race, and it was touched. Boumediene one-hands it towards Celebrini. Russell doing some work on the Maine top line, and again, cleared back to center. 5-4 overtime win for Maine last night. Mikhail Yegorov made 30 saves and allowed 5 goals. Stretch feed, it's a good one. Jack Harvey on his way in. Harvey lost it off his tape, but drew a penalty. And here comes the BU power play.
Looking to call, I was wondering if maybe a penalty shot on that, as Harvey seemed to have a stride, but they're just going to call a minor penalty.
Maine number 7, 2-minute minor, hooking.
Well, they've been trying to get Jack Harvey's offensive game rolling. It was close. He did have that step.
If it's not for that hook, he probably gets that puck back onto his forehand and has a really good opportunity to put it above the goaltender. So it's a great penalty to take there.
From Jeremy Langlois, first-year player from Quebec. And here is the BU power play, third best in the league, but operating at 27%. Scored last night on a Ryder Ritchie goal. No Maine starts to kill well. Maine kill has struggled. Again, early to read a ton into the special teams numbers either way, but it's something that's not been characteristic of Ben Barr's good teams.
That has been one thing that this Maine team has been strong in the last 3-4 years, has been their discipline on the penalty kill, staying in their formation in the zone. It's early, as you said, you want to improve those numbers, but penalty killing is really just about discipline to stay in your system. And you hear so many players on this Maine team talk about system.
They did it so well last night. It was a 5-on-3 in the third period of a tie game that Maine killed off, got him to overtime, and they won it. As Sasha Boisvert threw it across, went right to Nadeau, and he clears down the other end. 50 seconds into the BU power play. They're 35th of the year. They're 9 for 34, top 15 of the country. As Cole Hudson, the one-man clear, takes it in. Hudson, Daggling, sets it up. They spread it out. Looks up top. This is space for Fondrick. Instead to Harvey, the lefty, wet back post, and Rousseau active with the left pad. And then came right to him. And he puts his glove on it. Rousseau likes to move as we get to know him for the first time.
You saw that right there. He was trying to make a little bit of a move. You also had in front, you had 2 players battling for some position. Nobes there from Maine. I thought that was a really good defensive play. He's not just aware of where the BU player was. That was Svoboda that was right in front. He's not just aware of where Svoboda is. He's aware of the puck getting there. The 2 of them, between him and the goaltender, they get that puck to the corner.
Puck back to center. Oscar Komarov short-handed trying to chase down Yegorov, and did. 35 seconds. Something incensed Alphon behind the play. Fondrick drops it right. Sasha Boumediene sets it up. Off towards Fondrick. He settles the puck. Bichette trying to wall off the pass to the point. Fondrick looks down, finds Murtag. This was a lot of the 5-on-3 last night. A little stagnant for BU. Murtag put it off of Rousseau. Not sure quite knew where the puck was, but it works out. Bichette clears.
And there is a problem when you're passive on a power play against Maine. Maine will sit back a little bit in their penalty kill. If you don't attack the box, then you don't really get your opportunities. BU's got to attack a little bit more in this power play.
Power play time just ended. This is even strength hockey. Ben Merrill, the goal scorer, fell down. Maine let him know what they thought about all that as Charlie Russell gets out. Steps through 2 men, gets the line. Charlie Russell walled off the puck by Cole Hudson. Good defensive play by the second-round pick of the Capitals. Reverse Chabrier, shot tipped in wide. Coughlin pinches down. He's greeted by 2 BU men. Russell gets in there. 5-man puck battle. Scott in there. He got it free towards Chabrier, who pitches down, takes it away. Brandon Chabrier throws it all the way in. Yegorov again saw it late. That screening action in front on the other side. Scott gets pinned by McCarthy, still fed out front. Karam's back out. Chabrier's got a big shot, goes across. Poirier didn't have a stick on the ice, but he still got it back. Finally, McCarthy has it. BU's captain just trying to hold the puck, and he gave it away. Chabrier kicks it aside. Maine forecheck mattering right now. Long pass ahead. It's picked off. Sasha Boumedian dropped it blindly to his right for a shot. And Mathis Rousseau makes the save on Sasha Boisvert. 8:47 to go here in this opening period. We're tied at 1 tonight from Alphon.
Folks, welcome back into Alphon Arena, which is home to a Maine hockey team that took a massive step forward last night. This is a program that relies on a tight, detailed game with hard work and discipline. That's not exactly what the Black Bears were through 6 games. Coach Barr even saying his team has an identity problem. Well, last night, they took punch after punch from the number 5 team in the country, coming back from a 1-goal deficit 4 separate times and getting the last laugh, the last punch in overtime with the Brandon Holt winner. Coach Barr said he was extremely proud of his team and proud of his older guys for stepping up and filling roles they just quite frankly hadn't been all year long. He's looking for the same tonight, and that's exactly what he got. A BU goal followed right by a Charlie Russell goal to tie it up.
Jack, thanks. There's no question about it. I think talking with both coaches, neither were particularly happy with where they are right now as BU takes it through center. Man went down. Thomas Friel always looking for an excuse to hit a man. Did. Jaden Lipinski carries in, fed the middle, the shot goes through! First college goal for Jeremy Langlois. First Maine lead of the night.
This is one maybe Yegorov wants back here. Langlois with some room to get across the line once he takes that pass, and that one just squeaks through. I believe the glove of Yegorov gets through that one, and just like that, a lead for these Black Bears, and that's been an issue, I think, for this BU team. Yegorov is as strong as he
Officials
was
are going to review to check if the
in the second half
puck crosses the line.
He's struggling a little bit right now. His save percentage below a 900, and that's obviously a goal that he wants back.
Mikhail Yegorov, and I think they're going to look at something here, maybe offside.
Maybe an offside?
Referees AJ Potvin and Evan Reddick. This is an overhead of the goal itself. I don't think there was anything in this general neighborhood that, unless there's a question about whether it went over the line, but
Yeah,
it certainly did. You can see it bounce back there out of that corner, but again,
It was so loud in the building
Yeah,
when
to
the
be
referees made an announcement of what they were reviewing, we couldn't even hear it.
if I had to guess, they are looking at that, about whether that actually fully crossed the line. Reality is there are about
After
5,000
review,
people
call on the ice is confirmed. We have a good goal.
waiting for that. And for the second time in 20 seconds, they make the same noise. 2-1 Maine.
Their first lead of the weekend.
Yeah.
Never led last night. The only time they were ahead was when the game was over in overtime. So we'll now get to see this Maine team play with the lead, see how they handled that. They certainly were great coming back last night. Now they get to actually protect the lead.
Maine student section yelling Civ at Yegorov as they were from the instant he walked into this building last night. And Maine takes a 2-1 lead. Youngest team in the country for BU. All the accolades, the 19 draft picks and everything, but this is a different beast in a place like this, in a game like this.
And youth does show sometimes in college hockey, and I think the more we've talked about it in games we've worked together, Coop, that the older players are coming in with the CHL.
Jolie shot knocked down, they score! Owen Fowler, who scored last night. Welcome to Maine.
Huge goal last night for Fowler, another one here. Just able to get that backhand off on that rebound over the shoulder of Yegorov. This building is electric right now, and I'll tell you, you only have one timeout in hockey. I don't know if Jay Pandolfo wants to use it to try to calm things down, but it almost doesn't even make sense to do that right now.
And there's Max Lacroix.
I guess that's your next move. If you don't want to take your timeout, change your goaltender.
stunning in a lot of ways.
It really is, but this is just a Maine team in this building being so ready for this game.
Max Lacroix comes in, the junior. So, and again, Mikhail Yegorov, just to be real about it, he saved BU's season last year.
Absolutely.
He came in mid-season. They went to the Frozen Four. They probably would not have done that without his goaltending. He was almost perfect down the stretch. It's so early. He has a young team in front of him, but it's not been that way yet for him this year.
It's a different situation. Last year he was kind of thrown in at the midway point. He came in at the break. Comes in, his first game was at Boston College, if you remember, when you're talking about two of the top teams in the country going at each other. He came in right away, had an impact, as you said, got them to the Frozen Four. And the one thing that we just hear so far, he just hasn't been the same goaltender, but you're now at a situation where you know from the second you got on campus this season, you're the main man.
Man. One of those nights where this building just leans on you. 3-1 Maine. BU scored first, 34 seconds in. 20 seconds later, we were tied at 1. Now McCarthy plays it left. Cole Hudson! Right off the chest of Mathis Rousseau. And it's a 3-on-2. On the way in, and a drop to the right. Pichette waffled it in. Just testing that left pad of Lacroix, and then more. Chabrier tried to knock it down. He hit a body high up in the air. It's played down and on the way out finally with Ben Merrill, the BU goal scorer. Fighting with Coughlin, got it to the line. It was kicked forward, but Maine's got it. Justin Poirier takes it to safety. Chabrier stepping through center, weaving in and out, and leaving it right for Poirier, their leading scorer. Tried to turn it back to the point, then got it deeper. Russell got pinned. Boumedian takes it away and jabs it up the wall. McNellis ahead, no further than center. Durasevich plays it back over the line for Russell, who got hit hard. Him and Aiden Celebrini, two of the oldest players on the ice, came together. Durasevich, point shot, tipped on. That's wide. Once again, didn't get all the way through to Max Lacroix. BU back through center. McNellis puts it off of Rousseau. Russell trying to outpace the change, spins away and stops. Russell, the forward at the blue line, knocks it down deep, all the way back up towards Durasevich. He fires in. It was redirected once again back behind. Big body of Carter Amico, 15 in red in the thick of it. Westbrook, Maine native, playing for BU at Maine for the first weekend of his college career. Jaden Lipinski got it around. Amico, there he is, threw it back towards center. It stays in the zone. Amico gets it back and now gets it out. Ryder Ritchie trying to track it down, and he does. Looks out in front, trying to pass it off the skate of Durasevich and back to center. Under 6 to go in the first period, 4 goals, 3 of them from Maine. After BU took a 1-0 lead, the last 3 goals have been the Black Bears.
Shots on goal right now are 9-9. It doesn't feel that way, though. It feels like Maine has just dominated this period.
You talk about scoring chances. Maine has those. I'm sure it doesn't feel like 9-9 on the BU bench either. Pass again taken through center. Then a big-time hit. Owen Fowler committed the turnover and then brought the place to its feet. Fondrick back in, down the left, got a step. Conrad Fondrick threw it to the middle. Good stick lift from behind, and here comes Maine. Lucas Peterson, freshman, loves to score, drops it left, try to get it back, and goes all the way in on Lacroix. As they come together in front once again, that was Miguel Marquez who went down. Another timeout, we could use it. Under 5 to go in the first period. 3-1 Maine here in Orono. Jay Pandolfo and the BU Terriers trail 3-1 here in this opening period at Alpha. And he told us, look, sometimes it looks good, all the talent comes together, and then sometimes, honestly, it looks what we've watched over the first 16 minutes here.
And you know, the thing that we've known for BU's season thus far is they bounce back on the second night really well. This is not the start that Jay Pandolfo has wanted. Going even back to Yegorov in goal, he'd have a bad night on a Friday. He'd come back last week against UConn was a great example of that. I thought he played fantastic in Saturday's game. Didn't have it tonight. So now you're going back to the drawing board a little bit if you're Jay Pandolfo. He's pulled a lot of right switches in his 3+ years at BU, 3 Frozen Four appearances. He's done doing things right, but right now, this is a young team that he's trying to get together, playing on the same page.
Owen McLaughlin played it back, then got it back in the corner. One of the few older players in the forward lineup for BU. Conrad Fondrick, first year, who had surgery in the offseason. Finally got back to skating really last month. Got caught up with Harvey, tried to play it to the outside. Scott kicked it along. Off of one body and two, stays in the zone. Fondrick steps to his right, spins away. Feed the blue line, Boumedian. Sets up the shape, feeds it back down. Fondrick spinning away. He's got Peterson watching him step for step, feed the circle for a shot that was blocked. McLaughlin couldn't get there. Maine couldn't get the full breakout, but they have the puck. On their way out, though, given right back. Brandon Svoboda drops it right. Once again, Bednaric's shot. It was blocked. Second try in. That was easy for Mathis Rousseau.
Well, positive sign for BU out of the TV timeout. They had basically a good shift and a half right there as they're getting at least across the offensive line. They set up and actually cycled the puck a little before that shot that you see right there. That's what BU has to get back to, is playing their game. They are a really good team when they can get their forecheck going, get their cycle going. They create a lot of offensive opportunities in the zone. They have to find a way to get some zone time, though.
Against Maine, when it plays within its structure, that's what Ben Barr has been begging for his team to do. When it plays within its structure, it's hard to break down, no matter how talented you are offensively. Cole Hudson played it down the wall. Bednarik has a step, flipped it across to Gavin McCarthy. All the way back to Hudson. All he could do was chop it deep. Now puck battle that Durasevich got to first. Bichette lost it in the circle. Shot! Rousseau saw it late and it flies out of play on a shot with purpose from Camille Bednarik.
And if you watch this Maine defense, they really do take away time and space. When you see them in the defensive zone, every time BU has the puck, it seems like they're able to close within a half second. That's ideal for a coach. You want to see your defense not giving any space. You certainly don't want skating space in the offensive zone for your opponent. So I feel like that's what Maine is. You talk about them being a team when they play their structure, they play well. That is a big part of what they do really well.
Maine won the faceoff, but still not out of the zone. Battle at the half wall, kicks back towards center, and finally Friel gets it out as Nadeau whacks it in and got a good bounce. Off to Jaden Lipinski, twirls it back behind. Friel trying to step top side, but he ran right into Ryder Ritchie. Second round pick of Minnesota. The 2024 draft gave it away. Back in front, again swept aside by McCarthy. Coughlin towards Cole Hudson. Battles. Lipinski couldn't get there, and again, BU clears with Murtagh. Stick battle that Ritchie couldn't pull in, going after it from behind the back check. And Coughlin gets it in, icing waved off with 2.5 to play in the opening period. Murtagh knocked it down, goes back in the air, was caught up along the top of the boards. Finally, Murtagh fires in for a BU change. Sully Sholey dancing through center. Sholey steps over the line, one man clear, then got clobbered by Mick Frechette. Guy who's played both forward and defenseman for BU is on the forward chart tonight, played like a defenseman there. Jonathan Morello, 10 in red. Bruins draft pick gave it away. Durasevich through center, hopped away from Sholey. Big hit again as Durasevich and Frechette got into it behind the play. Maine has it in the offensive zone, meanwhile. Another hit, more men on the ice. See, it's that kind of night. Durasevich shot, rebound in front, and finally cleaned up, barely so, by John McNellis. Durasevich knocks it down to the corner. BU lets it through. Celebrini to the half wall. McNellis lost it, stays in, and then thrown back in front. Good job by Boumedian, down to one knee to just get it up and out. Good. 1:10 to go in the opening period. BU led 1-0. Maine tied the game 30 seconds later. And then two more from Maine later. We're at a 3-1 game. Again, tough through the neutral zone. Again, Justin Poirier gets it deep. Final minute of this opening period. Crowd says thank you. BU through center. Good stick. Kept the break from Harvey. Russell holds up just a moment. Winds it in. No further than Cole Hudson on the delayed offside. Cole Hudson, the All-American, last year's Hockey East Rookie of the Year. Fires in. A little testy there for Mathis Rousseau. Chabrier sends it along. Oscar Komarov speeding down the right, got a step and got it in once again. Final 30 seconds of this first period. "15 seconds. Conrad Fondrick tried to get it far, but really couldn't. Trying to weasel his way through 3 men. He finally did. Rousseau came out of his crease, got by him. 6 seconds. Merrill tied up. 5 seconds. 4 seconds on the outside plate. Up and out, and that'll do it for one heck of a first period.
Plenty of entertainment value in that frame right there, Coop. That was as fun of a period as you can imagine in Orono. Maybe not for the Terriers, who struck really early in this game, but BU with 3 goals to close things out and take a 3-1 lead to the locker room. I felt like once Maine settled down after that first 30 seconds or so, it was really their period.
Ben Merrill had the game-opening goal for BU. Maine had the flurry. And at the end of those last few minutes, BU seemed to kind of settle into that game. Well, for BU, let's kind of hear what they have to say. Let's go downstairs. Gavin McCarthy standing by with Jack.
Gavin, you guys get out to an early lead, then let up 3 unanswered. What adjustments you guys have to make?
Yeah, it's just immature hockey again. Like, we had 4 leads last night. Get off to an early one, and we shoot ourselves in the foot. So, yeah, we just got to be better.
What's the message to the guys when you get back to the room?
We just got to play harder. We got to play mature hockey. Like, it's just getting old, you know. So, play hard, win battles. It's a simple game when you do that, and we need to get to that. So,
Gavin, thank you. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Jack, and thanks to Gavin for his time there. What a first period. 3-1 start for Maine. Does feel like the kind of night where there's a lot of time and a lot of the story left to be told. We'll step aside. First intermission report comes your way next from Orono. Nutty first period. I think we're all just kind of sitting there chewing our gum. 3-1 game, Maine on top of BU as we welcome you back alongside Jimmy Connolly, Cooper Boardman, Jack Webb, ringside. I mean, that's one heck of 20 minutes.
It was. You know, the quick start by BU and then the response by the Black Bears and getting this building going. I mean, as quiet as BU was able to make this building in the first 30 seconds, boy, was it 10 times louder for the rest of the period.
Maine does this in this place, right? And again, I mean, look at the way the game starts, right? BU immediately, this is their first shift of the night, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, great job there by Cole Hudson and then Ben Merrill there to finish the play off. I mean, that's an ideal start for you. It, like I said, it quieted this building, but then it's really just watching what Maine did really well that period, which was just feed pucks into that slot area and continuously put pressure on the BU net. The ability to respond and also just make things miserable in front of Yegorov. Obviously, he was pulled after the 3rd goal, but I just feel like this has been it was a tough period for Yegorov because of how well Maine did at just getting pressure on the net. And this goal here, that one wants back, and you see those types of goals, it's not ideal to have one squeak off your goaltender's glove and another one from Owen Fowler there late. You're right now, I just think BU wants to get back to their own game, their own identity. They've lost it there at the end of that first period.
You heard Gavin McCarthy, that great interview he just did with Jack Webb. I mean, that's their captain who you know, he said we're playing immature hockey right now. And, you know, it's harsh, but it's real. And again, it's not like BU doesn't know it right now. It's just the reality of where they're at as the youngest team in the country.
It's part of adjustments, and it's part of growth, as you see some of the stats from the first period there. You know, 12-10 shots on goal for advantage for BU. It didn't feel that way. The quality of the shots certainly were a lot stronger in favor of Maine. They had a lot of attempts in that period when you think about it, the number of blocks that BU had to have in that period as well. So we'll see where the second period goes. BU wants a lot of things to change coming out of this locker room.
And Maine, on the other side, there's a lot that you wouldn't mind taking a carbon copy of, especially that middle stretch to take us here. All right, we'll step aside as we continue along On our first intermission report, we got an interview for you on the other side in a 3-1 game after one tonight from Orono.
It's a busy night here at Alfond Arena. Maine and BU, the Black Bears and Terriers in the intermission. I'm John Shields, joined by a special guest, Jason Gasper of General Dynamics Bath Iron Works. Jason is the Director of Waterfront Operations and a UMaine alumni. Jason, what year did you graduate, and what was your major here at UMaine?
So I graduated from the University of Maine back in 1999 with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering.
How did you get connected with your job at BIW, and how long have you been there?
Well, during my senior year, thinking about starting to make some money as opposed to spending it, I reached out and applied to a few different companies in Maine that were hiring engineers at the time. I knew I wanted to stay in Maine. My family's all here. I want to be around my friends and family. So ended up with a couple different job interviews at BIW and got a plant tour from one of the more senior engineers at the time, and was rewarded with a very competitive job offer for an entry-level engineering job. At the time, I remember being really impressed by the sheer magnitude of what it is that we do here at BIW and the Navy destroyers that we give to our country. And so I accepted the offer, and I'm still here 26 years later.
That's awesome. What do you do right now at BIW?
So after spending some time in engineering, quality control, program management, I've been working as a leader on our manufacturing operations team for about 15 years. I'm now the Director of Waterfront Operations, which means for the entire process, I get to be the one to hand the ships over to the customer, which is a really cool experience when that happens, right? I get to finish up the construction and test ships that you see in the river as you might drive by the shipyard here in Bath. Those are things that I'm working on trying to finish to turn over to the Navy. So it's a really rewarding experience.
What's the thing you enjoy most about your job, Jason?
So the thing, I interview a lot of people. We hire a lot of people here. And the one thing that I always tell them is that the diversity of work assignments and job opportunities within the four walls of BIW is incredible. We have engineers, we have accountants, we have surveyors, we have IT experts, we have purchasing agents. You can really almost do any job you want without actually leaving the company and finding other work. And so it's allowed me to make a lot of lifelong friends, really do a bunch of different things for the company here. And finally, it's the product that we make. It's magnificent, both in its complexity and its mission. So it's really, really rewarding job experience.
Jason Gasper, Director of Waterfront Operations at General Dynamics Bath Iron Works. Jason, thanks for the time.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Back live at Alfond Arena on the campus of the University of Maine in Orono. Way up here alongside Jim Connolly, Cooper Boardman. Jack Webb is ringside. One period down between the 12th ranked Maine Black Bears and the 5th ranked Boston University Terriers. It's a 3-1 Maine lead. BU fans were ecstatic 30 seconds into the game. They scored first. They were less ecstatic 30 seconds later when Maine tied it, and even less so after Maine scored 2 more times before the period ended. And Jimmy, I mean, it's a 20 minutes. When you talk about emotion, Maine is so high, BU pushes back late. I imagine you're about to see a Maine team that needs to maintain an identity that Ben Barr talked about us over the course of the week, and a BU team that's in some ways playing for their identity and their lives right now.
They really are. You don't hear that early in a season that a team that had high expectations like Boston University would be really playing in a key game on November 1st. But right now, you don't want to just bury yourselves in a slow start. This is a good team, and I think by the end of the year, this BU team ends up showing themselves as one of the best in the league, if not the country. But they've struggled, and now it's, can you bounce back? You have to take things in smaller segments. You can't think about playing 2 really good periods here. You have to think about playing 1 really good shift, and then another shift after that. And I guarantee that's the message that Jay Pandolfo's sending in that room. Keep it simple. Play for each shift. Don't worry about anything. You just have to do what you know how to do best, which is go out and play a strong hockey game in a tough atmosphere.
How about Max Lacroix? I mean, when we woke up this morning, this was Mikhail Yegorov versus Albin Boya, which by any margin is 2 of the best goaltenders in the country based on last year. Both of their backups are in the game right now.
It happens. We knew that Maine was that was coming because we had talked to Ben Barr before the game, but you didn't expect to see Yegorov struggle in that first period and get pulled. We'll see what happens with Lacroix.
Maine has it to start. Ben Barr's third line, the one that he trusts the most right now, with a shot, second try, and Max Lacroix was tested. Brandon Holt had the initial drive. Pichette was on the doorstep, and BU is out of dodge. And it's Svoboda, plays it left. Camille Bednarik, both netminders tested in the opening 28 seconds of the second.
It was a really good start by Maine there offensively, and they got the shots that they were looking for. BU here coming back up ice. Nice job there by Rousseau to make that save, but I thought that the second save that Lacroix had to make at the other end of the ice, not sure who it was for Maine that had the opportunity. He was at the far post. The push off the right skate to get that left pad across, that was a huge save.
BU in the offensive zone. This is where they were for most of the last 5 minutes. They got a power play that really turned the ice, even though they didn't score. It was kicked away. Boisvert plays it left. Walk-in shot is saved. Rebound went in, but a whistle blew first. Wow. Ryder Ritchie was celebrating. The whistle was shrill in his ears.
And it was clear that the whistle blew before the puck was in the net. From my naked eye, we'll see the play here. It's just one that I think comes out of Rousseau's glove right there. And then Ritchie gets to the puck, but the whistle had blown. And that was the signal that was made by the referee.
You saw the replay. It holds in his pads for a good second and a half there. You completely understand the whistle. Icing against Maine. And this game, again, it's 3-1 Maine. You'd rather be Maine. They played great, and they played some of their best hockey of the season. Both these coaches talked about it, though. There has just been, it's October, into November hockey, just a level of inconsistency on both sides.
It happens. You don't want it to as a coach, especially when you have high expectations. BU, I think, certainly comes in with very high expectations. Maine, too. But Maine, Ben Barr this week was very realistic about the number of new faces in this lineup. BU is not that different. Just maybe they just had a higher expectation because of how good of recruits they had coming in. They had Sasha Boisvert coming in as a transfer. They had a lot of things to be very high on themselves about. They just need to start going out and playing like they are the team they know they are.
BU does not yet have a ranked win this year. They're in danger, if they lose tonight, of being 3-5-1 to start the year. Maine on the other side is 4-2-1. They have points taken off of Quinnipiac already to affect their NPI, be a top 10 team most of the year in all likelihood. And they're playing here, where they were 15-2-3 last season.
It doesn't hurt when this is a building that you tend to win in. And that in the last 2 years for Ben Barr, this has been a fantastic home ice advantage as we get a
penalty against BU. Drawn nicely by Jaden Lipinski. I think he got caught up with Trethaway or perhaps McLaughlin.
Boston University penalty, 2 minutes, interference.
Maltavas interference.
So we'll see the Maine power play on the ice for the first time tonight. Good call there on the interference. It was just outside of the camera, but we saw that one live. I picked it out. You did as well. Just the puck had gone away, and by the time you make that hit, you're going to get called for interference there.
It's a third-round pick, but that's a freshman who makes the mistake. Maine sets up the power play. They got it rolling last week with a couple of power play goals against Colgate. Went 0 for 5 last night, shot in. And Max Lacroix saw it the whole way from Owen Fowler looking for his second. BU kills at 87%, 27 for 31. Top 10 penalty kill in the country last year. They are in the top 15 once again. Feels like a massive minute 48 here.
It does. If you're BU, you certainly can't fall behind him. Hey, what does BU do very well? They're usually a very good shorthanded team. Don't be surprised to see them taking some chances up the ice shorthanded.
Miguel Marquez got knocked down. Crowd wanted something, didn't get it. Cole Hudson got it out. First Maine power play of the night. Lucas Peterson drops it back. Fowler weaves his way in, down the left. Fowler threw it in front. Russell couldn't get a stick to it. Marquez was waiting for it, got it down. McCarthy walls it off. Lipinski gets in there, shoulder to shoulder. Jabbed in deeper. Russell in a puck battle with Hudson, who got to it first, got it up towards the goal line, and threw it out. That's 2 clears from Cole Hudson.
That's a good clear right there, too. You had a Maine player along the right boards. You have to put enough steam on that off the glass to get it all the way down the ice.
Cole Hudson, who stood in the bowels of the Mullins Center last year after a loss against UMass in December and said, "It's not good enough. I need to be better. We need to be better." Led them to the Frozen Four in the second half. Trouble on the breakout for Maine. Brandon Holt on his way out. Captain leaves it back. Max Scott getting pressured. Spun it back, and now some numbers. Get the line. It's Nadeau with a shot. Max Lacroix had it stick in his pads.
I like what Maine tried to do through the neutral zone there. You've seen the draw pass become kind of part of it. You're watching it here. That's become almost a norm on a breakout on a power play. It gives you so many options when you get over the line. Sometimes you get a little bit more speed. They created a lot of speed right there. And Nadeau, really good shooter of the puck, gets that one right into the breadbasket of Lacroix.
Fought through a lower body injury to play this week, Josh Nadeau. Brother Bradley scored his first NHL goal this week. Maine also has Taylor McCarr making his NHL debut tonight. Holt plays it right, reeled in by Poirier. Even strength as a shot was redirected back in front. So we're 5-on-5 once again. Maine stays in. Nadeau in the slot. Spun it wide to the right. Poirier threw it up the slot again. It's picked off. Into the zone. Rayson. Boisvert threw it in front. Came all the way through. Durasevich, ever sturdy defenseman, plays it up and out. Scott gets the red no further. Amico takes it away. First-year Maine native. Plays it right for Aiden Celebrini. Macklin's brother fires in. Durasevich leaves it along. Kicked back by Friel. Long goes. It was taken away. Shot! Over top once again from Jack Murtag and flies out of play. It's another glinting chance for BU.
It's a nice play there by Murtag, too. Reads it right away, intercepts the pass, then the quick turn. He sees some room. If you watch the left shoulder, so the near post, there was some room right above the goaltender's shoulder there, and he tried to pick it, ended up shooting that one out of play. But I love that play by Murtag. Just come out, and you have no real option. Shoot the puck. I don't feel like BU has taken enough of their opportunities when they're there tonight.
It's the second straight night BU is playing without Cole Iserman. He's a guy who doesn't usually need an invitation to shoot. Top scorer a season ago. Took a big hit against UConn last weekend in a week-to-week situation, according to head coach Jay Pandolfo. As Bednarik takes it away, one of the guys that Pandolfo feels like can do more offensively without Iserman. Nopes tried to get there, was taken away. Chance to walk down the goal line. Bednarik got it back, playing like a terror right now. Off to McCarthy, across to Hudson. Spins away. Cole Hudson, lefty, trying to get a step, has to square up, and does it, throws it in. They score. Cole Hudson found a way through. It's a 1-goal game.
That is a very Cole Hudson-like moment right there. When you're the best offensive threat for your team right now, you might as well do it yourself. And Cole Hudson, it's not just skating and throwing a puck to the net. It's looking at the net, finding the lane, knowing that you have a bit of a screen. You had a defender from Maine on the right-hand side screening. You had, I believe it was Boisvert in front, or maybe Svoboda that was taking the screen there. Those are the types of plays. You get the puck in an ideal position to get it on net. Hard shot into the net, and we're in a 1-goal game.
Boumedian fired in right off the draw. Rousseau punched it away. Here comes Maine once again. Miguel Marquez. Lipinski knocked it down. It got kicked along towards the board. Holt pinches down. Played it back for Fowler. Shot it wide. Peterson got it around. I mean, the body positioning from Hudson, at no point did you think he was going to shoot. Then he squared up, had 1 second, and drilled it. Shot wide. Remember, the story of the weekend every time BU steps away, Maine comes right back and scores. Marquez trying to do it, bounced it in! And Max Lacroix on the short hop. And Boumediene gave a shot to Fowler in front.
Almost had another response goal there from the Black Bears. Just good cycling, get up top, and then you're looking for traffic in front. You have it in spades, get the puck there, and actually nice job there by Lacroix to pull that puck in. You had plenty of Black Bears on the doorstep. Max Scott there trying to bear down and bury the rebound, but Lacroix was able to pull that one in.
Another Maine response. It's been the story of the last 48 hours here at Alphon. Charlie Trethewey lets it through. Frechette got pinned up. Trethewey gets it back. Penguins draft pick. Where his dad, Bob, grew up in Pittsburgh. Durasevich takes it back and Miss Langlois. Mathis Rousseau, first-year goalie from Quebec, touched it. Played for the World Junior teams for Canada. They love him. Feel like he is the goalie of the future behind Albin Boya. Nadeau takes it away. Tried to come topside. He decided to bank it back to Durasevich. He plays it back behind for a battle. Nadeau has a step. Now 2 men circling, trying to find an advantage somewhere else. Instead, Trethewey there. Ladled up the wall by Amico. Frechette from the half wall. That's the breakout. Picture perfect. Get the line to the left. Give it back. And a shot! Just over top once again from McNellis. BU has settled into this game. Scott gets the line. Chips it in on a bank pass back behind. Hudson tried to ride it up the wall. I guess that didn't come out. And Maine's got it once again. Poirier looking and backhands it in. Back behind. Scott comes topside. He's got a teammate open. Let it through. Again, barely kept on by Chabrier. Back behind the net once again. Russell looking, toppling puck. Coughlin looks across. Chabrier tried to step by. Great poke. Got it out of the zone from Jack Murtagh.
Such a huge play there by Murtagh. That's instinctual reaction. You can't teach that.
8 minutes down in the second. The only BU goal in this period. On a Cole Hudson tally. Now a giveaway. Murtagh looks in front for a shot that never came. Great stick lift from Poirier. And it sets up a 3-on-2. Justin Poirier slowed, threw it to the front. It was sticked away last moment by Hudson. I mean, he scored the goal, but he's made some big defensive plays on the kill and now in the 5-on-5.
It's so easy to think about Cole Hudson as just the offensive side of Cole Hudson. He is a great defensive player. He does everything you ask of him defensively.
Hudson threw it down the other end. Bednarik outskates icing. Camille Bednarik alone in the zone, fighting with the captain, Holt, and Peterson, the freshman. Stays in at the point for a shot that Holt picked up. That's what he usually does. This was touched by Maine, but also BU. Icing waved off. Sasha Boumediene plays it left. Big hit. You can see it coming. Will Gerrois up top on Celebrini, but it's taken away at center. Brandon Svoboda skating in, looks to the left, skipped it in front, and it was taken away nicely by Jeremy Langlois. Taken back in the slot, and it rolls very slowly to Rousseau, and then a couple of men. Really, the whole team's getting into it. This, folks, is Hockey East. We'll step aside. 11:26 to go in the second. Maine 3 and BU 2. Back live here in the second period. Maine 3 and BU 2. 11:26 to go in it. Alongside Jin Connolly, Cooper Boardman, Jack Webb ringside, and BU comes right back. Cole Hudson makes this a 1-goal game.
Yeah, I think about the first shift of the second period. Maine had an opportunity to take a 4-1 lead. It was a great left pad save that Lacroix made at the far post from us. And making that save, BU got a little bit of jump. Then you get the Cole Hudson goal. Now you're in a 1-goal game. BU looks the best they have skating-wise over the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Brandon Svoboda won a draw. Cole Hudson had the goal. He got knocked out of the zone. See the effort from Owen Fowler. Delayed offside. BU touches up. Fowler, the Lowell transfer, made it 3-1 Maine. That was the score at the end of 1. As Hudson had eyes on a break the other way. It does happen. Merrill lost it, back through center. Race on back the other way, and it's Fowler once again. He's had a nose for the puck tonight. Tied up with McCarthy, got it up the wall and out of the zone. Bednarik plays it left, Merrill gets the red, puts it high in the air and a bounce, hit in front of the bench as well. You can hear the thump echoing throughout Alphon. Sold out crowd once again, as it has been for every single game this year. Sellout streak that dates back to the end of last. Long for Chabrier, he tracked it in and does get it in. Not seen the puck on this end of the ice very much in this second period.
Not enough for the Maine Black Bears. They certainly would like to get a little bit more offense going.
Coughlin's shot cut off. Celebrini got in front of it, round it goes. Russell spins away. Charlie Russell pushed off the puck by Celebrini, held up play enough. Coughlin trying to get down, but BU gets out, and they've got space the other way. McLaughlin across, it was sticked away. Second try, pulled wide. Jack Harvey drilled it, but missed the net, and now it goes the other way. It's Poirier around one, still one-handing, all the way in, spotted back, and scores!
What did we just see? What a goal! Justin Poirier, we've heard a lot about him already. He nearly gets knocked over 3 times. A backhander just over the goaltender's shoulder into the net. This building has come alive. Sports Center, you've got your top 10 moment for Sunday.
No shot. Got a hand pass off the draw, Justin Poirier. The moment when he stopped and realized he had the puck in front of him, when time itself stopped. 4-2 Maine. We'll step aside. 9:48 to go in the second. We'll try to make sense of all that. Back in a moment from Orno.
Folks, welcome back into Alphon Arena, which is quite frankly still on fire after that Justin Poirier goal, but it's one of college hockey's most historic venues. But it might look a little different than the last time you were here. Over the summer, it went through $48 million of renovations to renovate the Sean Walsh Performance Center for the players in the main concourse of Alphon Arena. Now, in the Performance Center, they got cold tubs, a film room, player lounge, anything you could think of that a college hockey player needs, this Black Bear team got. And then on the concourse, new amenities, new shrines to some of the old teams, the 93 team, the 99 national championship team. Then the outside, it got a total facelift, added a whole part of the building. So Alphon Arena as good as it's ever been.
Quick shot off the draw that Lacroix made a save on, goes down the other end, and it's icing. I mean, Jack just described it there. Jimmy, you and I got to walk around this whole experience before the game. It's wonderful that this program has an arena and what Jack just described reflective of the quality of program that it is.
Absolutely. This was the most needed renovation in college hockey. You couldn't get rid of this building. It's too special. The atmosphere is too great. You can't recreate this. You had to build on. What they did was spectacular. We got a chance to walk through. We'll talk more a little bit as this game goes on, but I was so impressed.
Maine jumping. Came in on the quad. It was knocked back up towards the point, but stays in. Langlois shot. Lacroix made the save. Pads down to stop it. Jaden Lipinski fighting. Got it out in front. Kicked on. Bodies piling up. There's a whistle. Somehow, some way, stays out thanks to Lacroix.
Another puck just basically thrown to the front of the net. Wherever it is on the ice, you can see this Maine team is doing a great job getting the puck to the front of the net, and that's where good things are happening. Quick, right out front, right there. And then it's not one, it's not 2 shots, it's probably 3, and somehow Lacroix has to get his backside onto the ice. I think it's probably his glove that finally does tie it up there. Leg pad, glove, somewhere that puck is underneath him, but that was a tense moment yet again, all because of just the ability to funnel those pucks to the front.
I think it might have been a good thing that Maine didn't score, because I think Thomas Friel kicked that fully in on Lacroix. The elusive kicking motion. Under 9 to go in this second. That's a penalty. There are 5,000 people here to call it.
It feels inadvertent. The stick gets under McCarthy's arm there, but then once he closes down, it's obvious to the ref that that's a hold, holding the stick. Right there,
Boston
once
University
that
number
stick is
2,
underneath the
2 minute
arm,
minor, holding.
latch down, whether you lean to it or not, it ends up being holding, and the Maine power play gets another chance here.
Gavin McCarthy, the captain, takes a seat. The amazing part of tonight has been, when you talk about ice time and just volume of offense, BU's had the puck more and had that. But when Maine has come, they have been a torpedo.
Yeah, it's a relentless attack. It's waves, it's layers. They do everything really well in terms of getting that first opportunity, a follow-up and a follow-up chance on that.
Trying to take a leap here, up by 2 on the power play for the second time. Poirier drilled it wide. Scored softly from 2 feet out, slowly over the top of the goaltender Max Lacroix. Goal that you will see for a long time. And nearly had another.
I can tell you, I wish my sand wedge could get a golf ball to have the same trajectory that shot had. What a beautiful little flop shot that became.
This just stays in, barely. Friel high stepping to his right, got by Bednarik. Taken down to the overload, feed it back up top. Step down the right, pass comes into the side of the net. Friel couldn't handle it. He goes back to it, shuffles it up the wall and out. And it's a man who fell down, and it opens up completely. Jonathan Morello, back, forth, back, score! Absolute gift. Camille Bednarik, the beneficiary, and BU's within 1 on the shorty.
We said it the last time Maine had a power play. BU loves to attack when they're shorthanded. An unfortunate circumstance where a defender falls down, but then a perfectly executed 2-on-0. There is no mistake about that one. So often you see the overpassing. Nobody wants to shoot on a 2-on-0. Those two players knew exactly what they were doing, and Bednarik finishes that one off.
I mean, Jonathan Morello could have easily taken that in himself. Sure. It was smart just to stop. And they go 2-on-0, and they get it. Shot in. And it's saved from Lucas Peterson. Every time you think this game is going one way, it completely turns the other direction.
It's an entire weekend of it. That was the story last night, is the story yet again here tonight. It's just the teams doing it is reversed. Last night it was BU jumping to leads and having Maine come back. Tonight it's Maine with 3-1, then a 4-2 lead, now back to 4-3.
Both coaches talked with us very honestly and earnestly about how they needed their teams to fight harder and more consistently. I think both coaches will say over the first 30-something minutes, as Svoboda's on top of the puck, finally they get out of it and it's cleared into the second row. I think both coaches will say we haven't had fight for every moment of the game, but I think both will be happy with the consistency with which they've fought when it's gotten hard.
The fight, the battle back, the not giving up, both coaches have that this weekend. They can both point to really good examples. I think it goes back to what Ben Barr said to us today. It was a great game for the fans to watch last night, not a great one for the coaches. You don't like to be in a game with 9 goals scored, even if you're scoring 5 of them. It's just not a comfortable situation for a coach to know that you're allowing as much as you're scoring.
Maine, by the way, still on the power play for the next 40 seconds. Back post, what a save! Lacroix to his right, kept it out, still free. Lacroix needs it, can't get there. And then a whistle blows.
The glove came off. Lacroix lost his catching glove. That gets a whistle.
Wow. That comes down to the doorstep, right pad kick out. Watch it again.
This is a fantastic save here. Wide open net right there. The ability to get across and make that save on Miguel Marquez. Fantastic. And then this is where the glove, it's Lacroix trying to reach and cover that puck. He loses his glove. That will get a whistle from the referee. Gloves, mask of a goaltender, you always blow the play dead.
Grandfather Pierre of Max Lacroix, Hockey Hall of Famer, played general manager who built the great Colorado Avalanche teams in the late 90s and early 2000s. Poirier swing and a miss. Got it back, looks across, and fires in off a skate, stays alive. Scott spun it in the low slot, saved again. Lacroix in every direction. Still 20 seconds to go the power play. Hold shot, punched away by Lacroix. He's made 3 game-saving saves. Holtz again. Here's a lefty. Down the wing, kicked in front, score! Beautiful! Had to be perfect, and it was for Max Scott, the Brown transfer, to beat Lacroix.
Great passing here by the Black Bears on the power play. The ability to get it into that bumper area, and then a quick release there by Max Scott. And a 2-goal lead once again for this Maine team. 5-3 here. 8 goals, 9 last night, 8 already, and we have 7 minutes to go in the second period. An offensive explosion this weekend.
4 shots blocked on the power play, 3 more saved. And the 8th shot of the, or at least shot attempt of the power play for Maine makes it 5-3. After BU Shorty made it a 1-goal game earlier in the same power play. Under 7 to go in the second.
It might not feel as immediate, but that is yet another bounce back goal for Maine. After BU scores, it doesn't even take a full 2 minutes, and they, on the same power play, they're able to score.
Last night, 1-0 BU, 2-0 BU, 3-0, 4-0. Every single time, Maine answered to tie it and then won it in overtime. They led for 0 actual seconds of the game. Tonight, BU takes a 1-0 lead, Maine answers to take a 3-1 lead, and now every single time BU scored, to your exact point, Maine's answer. Nope shot, kicked wide to the right. And again, when Maine has had these spurts, the electricity of the 3-4 minute stretches have overwhelmed. Nope shot. Again, he hit his own man Fowler in front. Chabrier pinched down to get there. 2 chasing, so he spoons it behind. Marquez steps away. McCarthy at his body. Spun it back behind. Sholey out in front. Is kicked away up the slot. Nope shot. He zipped it wide. Second try off the side of the net. Swipe by Fowler. Nope's getting pinned. He's stick battling with Celebrini. Got slammed down. Back towards center. No further. Fowler gets the red, gets it in. Hudson let it through, but it's Sholey who gets there first. Tried to twist his way around Boisvert and lost it back to center. Five and a half to go in the second. 8 goals between the two teams after 9 last night, as Jimmy just told you. Scott just scored, banks it back. Across to Holt, he fires in, tipped wide. Russell puts that on target, it's 6-3. Instead stays in to the right. Peterson gets it around, BU can't get out of it, zone right now. Holt shot blocked, got it back, second try, score! Charlie Russell second, 6-3 Maine.
When this Maine forecheck gets going, they establish the zone and they move it so well. The one thing Maine does incredibly well is redirect shots from the point. Charlie Russell right there, a perfect tip. There was one 10-15 seconds earlier that almost went in. This is just a shooting gallery right now for Maine, and they have this building as loud as it can possibly get. Jay Pandolfo takes his timeout.
Timeout, Boston University.
Ben Barr told us it will take more than we have given all year long. It will take our best to beat this BU team once. They did it last night. The resiliency that we've been talking about all night long. That kid, Charlie Russell's got 2 goals. This place is alive as it always is. And this tonight has been cut and dry Maine hockey.
It has. This is just, look at the tip right there. Just such a perfect tip. There's no time for Lacroix to even react to that shot. A perfect tip, a perfect redirect right there by Charlie Russell. And Jay Pandolfo takes, I love using the timeout here just to try to quiet this building a little. You're not going to quiet them down though. That's the reality. This building will still be as loud once these 12 skaters for each team get back onto the ice.
I was going to say, it's just more time to party.
It really is.
It's a pretty amazing thing to watch a team find itself in front of your eyes.
I agree with you there, Cooper, and we're certainly seeing. I mean, you knew in the first week of the year when I think they put 12 goals up or 10 goals up on Holy Cross. We know that was a good team last year, a Holy Cross team that didn't give up that many goals that often. They got 3 early on Quinnipiac and then ended up tying and losing down there. And then they were struggling a little bit when they had Colgate come in here. But the confidence they got from last Saturday's overtime win certainly.
In front again! Friel was, boy, he was thwarted, and then they blew a pretty early whistle there. Carter Amico in the grill of Friel as well afterwards. Friel saying that's a live puck, and he's right.
He was right there. But you're now seeing it. I'll finish my point. That overtime game last week, huge for me.
We've seen it tonight. Take a timeout, 6-3 Maine here in the second. Hockey East on Nesson is brought to you in part by Boston Children's Museum. Visit Boston Children's Museum today, the official children's museum of Hockey East. Not sure there's a more fun place on this planet than the Maine student section right now. 6 in the second period. They lead 6-3 over BU. They led 3-1 at the end of 1. And now we're on this end of the ice for the first time in what feels like 10 minutes. McCarthy's shot parried away by Baptiste Rousseau, who's been watching the game right now. McNellis threw it out in front. It was kicked away, and Sully Sholey takes it over his line, gets the red, and Sully Sholey takes it in. With 4 to go in the second period. BU got this to a 4-3 game. Maine came right back, and after a short-handed goal, scores twice. One in the power play and then one even strength. Holt wants it. Marquez hasn't found him yet. He just twisted all the way back down behind. Fowler in a puck battle, slammed by McCarthy, who put him down on the ice, on the wall, and out of the zone once again for Holt. Big 3.5-minute stretch here.
It is for both teams. BU, you would love to pop one before the end here. In Maine, you're not thinking about scoring as much as you're thinking about playing a really good final 3.5 minutes here. You close out what's been a very good 40 minutes of hockey for the Black Bears thus far.
Wonder what's in the mind of that kid, Max Lacroix, who played in 4 total games last year. He actually made 29 saves in a start he got against this Maine team. Baptiste Rousseau, he was in for Albin Boya tonight. They wanted to give him the opportunity they have. He's given up some, but obviously the offense has done its part. And you're talking about a shots advantage that's opened up to 31-18 in favor of Maine.
20-6 here in this middle period.
Well, you made a comment as Murtagh gets the line at one point that the shots were 9-9, and it didn't feel like that. It felt like Maine had the advantage in a big way, and here we are. That showed itself finally on the scoreboard. Bichette got it up towards the wall, shot from the point, kicked away in the slot! Man, that was as glinting as it gets for Will Gerrois, looking for his second collegiate goal. Langlois down towards Bichette. He kicked it down and swiped it left. Spaced the step in front. Good stick for Max Lacroix. Popped it in the air out to the corner. Comes back to the slot. Second try. Oh, kicked again. Komarov was there. Boumedian had the shot-saving play in front, and Lacroix saw that one the whole way. The assault continues.
It just feels like every puck bounces onto a Maine stick. Every time there's a 50-50 puck out there, it's getting on a Maine stick. They're getting quality looks. It's not getting any easier for BU in their defensive zone right now. And obviously Max Lacroix, he's just under attack here. 23 shots now in this period for Maine, 33 in the game.
This Maine team got a lot older in the last 14 minutes. Scott on the draw, kicked it away. Carter Amico tried to get it out, and Harvey spinning. Couldn't do it. Scott stays in, living in the BU zone. Finally, Harvey gets out. Here they come. Harvey gets it in deep. I mean, the best BU chance came shorthanded in this period, in this game.
Yes.
In the corner, Murtagh trying to step out of trouble. Looks up top, finds Amico. Carter Amico shot. It was knocked down by McLaughlin, one of their leading scorers. Conrad Fondrick pinned against the boards, and he drew a penalty. Fondrick threw it in. It was saved. Next Maine touch will be a whistle. For the moment, extra skater trying to get on for BU. McLaughlin throws it across to the extra skater, on in the slot for a shot wide. Got it back. Bednarik, extra skater, net empty. Amico, 6 attackers to the wing. Pass all the way across. McLaughlin trying to settle, and he spins it all the way back around. And now BU's got to touch back up because Voss couldn't keep it in. Minute and a half to go in the period, try to get through, and now finally, there's the whistle. Here comes the BU power play.
I believe the call will be holding. It was along the wall.
Maine, number 11, 2-minute minor holding.
Against Charlie Russell.
So this BU power play, they've only had just one opportunity tonight. They will get another shot here. Maine was very good in their penalty kill the first time. They maintain a good box structure in their zone.
Conrad Fondrick starting to get to need to have it territory for BU. 3-goal game, $1:14 to go in the second. Fondrick shot! Well, they needed to have it, and they got it. Back to a 2-goal game. They keep coming.
Low, hard shot along the ice, good screen. Again, if you're a coach, you're not loving what you're seeing on either side defensively, but offensively, look at these two teams produce. And this one, pretty simple play. It's just Fondrick holding, and waiting, and making sure he has the screen. He knew he had room at that far post to put that puck along the ice, off the post and in. And you said it, a power play late, you get a goal, you're only down 2 now. The way goals have been coming this weekend, a 2-goal lead does not feel like a big advantage.
And still a minute to go in the second period. We'll have the Boston Children's Hospital intermission report coming your way, and a lot to cover. Cole Hudson down towards his end. Knocked it back. McCarthy has 2 men around him, got it towards Hudson. Immediately looks up ice and slows. Feeds ahead for McCarthy, who gets the line and winds it in. Corner to corner it goes. Boumedian overskated it. On the outside, Fowler chipped it back. Hudson kept it in through to a quiet side of the ice for the captain, Brandon Holtz. Goes all the way around. Team partner Peterson chasing, gets to it, and shovels it back to center. Hudson kicks it down with 25 seconds. Gave it away. And now it's Brandon Holt who slides it ahead. Marquez gets it in off the glass with 20 seconds to go. Back behind once again. Marquez held up with Hudson. Both guys calling for a penalty. Neither of them got it. 8 seconds. Swoboda plays it ahead to Murtagh. Opens up 5 seconds. Murtagh has the space close fast. 2 seconds and 1. And that should do it. And it does do it.
I think we need an intermission just to catch our collective breaths right now.
Insane. A second period that saw 6 combined goals. 10 between the two teams. The kind of period that will make a coach crazy, as Ben Barr told us earlier on before the game began. And man, it ends in a 6-4 Maine lead as we make our way towards the third period. Owen Fowler had the goal. That feels like a long time ago, the first of 6. I think we have Owen now. Let's go downstairs.
Period with the close change, get them in the zone for a long period of time.
You've really stepped your game up this weekend. What have you found within yourself, and what's working so well for you?
I think, honestly, our line is just keeping it simple. Like, beginning of the year, it's just you're overhandling and stuff like that, but we're just getting behind the D and going to work.
How about 93?
That guy gets crazy bounces and just puts the puck in the net.
What are you guys going to have to do to finish this one out and complete the sweep this weekend?
It's got to be our most detailed period here, and it's got to be each bear, honestly. getting pucks in, getting pucks out, and take a hit when it's needed.
Oh, and thanks so much,
Thank you.
guys.
There you go. Owen Fowler and the Maine Black Bears have a 6-4 lead some way, somehow. We'll take a breath, come back from Orono for our second intermission report. Back live in Orono on the Boston Children's Hospital intermission report, alongside Jim Connolly, Cooper Boardman, Jack Webb ringside tonight. We are counting down just under 12 minutes till we start that third period. It was the second period, Jimmy, and you tell me you've watched a lot more hockey than I have. How many periods have you seen with 6 goals between two teams?
In terms of being a broadcaster, not enough. I love those periods. I mean, when you have an environment like this, the ability to watch this crowd go nuts, and we're going to take a look at some of these goals here. Lots of offense in the period. That one, Cole Hudson pulls the Terriers within a goal. But as Maine has done all weekend, the bounce-back ability of this Black Bears team has been so impressive. You see this goal here, the ability, we talked about this, but I don't know how this goal gets in. But everything I had been told about Justin Poirier coming into this weekend, had watched him on a little bit of tape, unreal. A 2-on-0 shorthanded. This is when Maine had just started their power play. That goal, again, BU within a goal, and then some fantastic saves there by Lacroix. But still the power play found a way to score for Maine. The bounce back, we've talked about this so much, and the ability of this power play to generate as soon as they gave up a shorthanded goal from the bumper position there, and then the last one was just a redirect by Charlie Russell there toward the end of the period, a 6-3 lead. But I did forget about the BU goal.
Oh, no,
6-4
I get it,
power
yeah.
play goal. Somehow I've actually forgotten about goals that have been scored in this game. It's hard to do. But we're in a game right now. And if you pop one early here, BU, you know that you have scored already 4 tonight. You scored 4 last night. You're getting goals. So now if you can just keep the opponent at bay, you have a chance to come back in this game. Jay Pandolfo and his team have to have some belief in the locker room right now.
How about this stat? 33 shots on goal for Maine. 68 shot attempts, and BU has blocked 23 Maine shots.
Well, the dedication to blocking shots for this defense is one thing that's saving BU right now. If they weren't blocking shots, I can't imagine where we'd be, but just look at the number of shot attempts. BU only 34 attempts in the game. Maine already 33 on goal through 2 periods. So we'll watch as that number moves in the third period. BU has to find a way to slow down this Maine offense.
6-4 at the end of 2 periods. 10 goals between the two teams. After last night, we had 9. And we still have 20 more minutes. So let's go to that as we roll along here on our second intermission report. We'll step aside.
And a save by Zacher. Here's an empty net, and Zacher got back sliding to make another stop as time runs out in the period.
One for the Terriers. Murtagh with a wrister and a goal. Jared Murtagh goes top shelf. NHL shot bar down.
Stiga trying to get it out of the air. Finds its way. Higgins, he scores! What a shot! Whoa!
Accepts a stretch pass. Leaves it for Blay in front of the goal. Tic-tac and toe the other way to Zane, his second of the night. We're tied.
And now it's Northeastern's trip up ice. Erdman with the pass and the backhander. Score! What a beautiful goal for freshman Amin Hajibi. And the Huskies lead 1-0. That's Hajibi's first goal at Northeastern.
When these lights go on, somebody's going to score a goal, it feels like. 10 goals between the two teams, 6-4 Maine, as we get set for the start of the third period. Thanks for being with us tonight through the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs. Alongside Jim Connolly, Cooper Boardman, Jack Webb is ringside for us tonight. This is such good college hockey.
I mean, what a way to finish off the ultimate NESN triple header. Boston Bruins win to start the day over Carolina. You had UMass Lowell beating Providence, and now here we are with this unbelievable show here in Orono between two rivals. People forget how big a rivalry this is. They played in the national championship game in 1995 with with Boston University coming out on top in that one. You had BU gave Maine their only loss back in 1993 when Maine went 41-1-2. That was a game here in Alphon that Maine actually led 6-2. Lost 7-6 in overtime in that one. So there's a lot of great matchups between these two teams over the years. This third period certainly is going to be one that we'll remember.
I mean, you live those rivalries, you know, and New Hampshire is always going to be Maine's biggest rival. Boston College is always going to be BU's rival at the absolute top point. But this is two for both of these schools. And again, they've played after tonight 136 times.
Yeah, Jack Parker used to say it. He would say, listen, we know BC is our rival, but we have a lot of teams that we're their rival. And he acknowledged, listen, I know it's not Maine, but when these two teams play one another, it has always been an emotional battle. I'm not going to use the word bloodbath because that's going a little over the edge, but it has been such an unbelievable rivalry of non-rivals.
It's an amazing way to put it. And you think about the figures, the fiery coaches on both sides, the great players that have gone on to be greats in the sport.
I just think about Sean Walsh and Jack Parker. They had a game in their own of just who was going to influence the referee better.
And tonight, just the latest chapter, 136. 6 goals in the second period. Maine, who was down 1-0 to start the game, took a 2-1 lead. They'd not trailed since. Third period underway, and the question now, who scores next? BU in the offensive zone, they found their footing a little bit late in the third period despite a Maine flurry. As the Black Bears get out, Cole Hudson takes it. Hudson had the goal that sparked BU before Maine took it away, and here they come. Charlie Russell has 2 goals tonight, and he spins away. Holt wanted it, plays it left and down towards the corner, feed it out in front. Went off the side of the net. Netminder Max Lacroix, who came in relief of Mikhail Yegorov, the regular BU starter who allowed the first 3 goals. First change of this third period. Biggest game of Lacroix's life, certainly the biggest game of Mathis Rousseau's life. Getting the start tonight for Maine in place of Albin Boya. Thrown out in front and nearly got the back post and in. There's a crashing Ryder Ritchie, and now we got a penalty.
BU back to the power play, hooking call here. This is what makes BU dangerous, their ability to just jump a man into the play with some speed. You get a redirect that almost goes in, then you get a penalty drawn right after.
Maine, number 41, 2-minute minor, hooking.
Against Jaden Lipinski.
BU power play already scored tonight. If they score another one, then suddenly you start getting a little tight if you're the Black Bears. A 3-goal lead to go down to 1 would be certainly one that it feels a little tenuous.
Good start for Maine. BU's played so far this year 8 games. In 4 of those games, they've scored 2 power play goals. Shorthanded, inside, on net, score! Max Scott second, comes shorthanded, sharp.
You've seen goals of every variety here. This one looks harmless. It's really a 1-on-2. Then the play that is made over to Scott and the ability to finish there in the crease. Fantastic job to make the move, get around Lacroix. Actually goes off the post, off Lacroix's right, skating in. And a 7-4 lead for Maine. BU still has 1:41 of power play time.
BU is holding play here.
It's almost like they're waiting to hear from hockey ops whether they should challenge this, and they are going to challenge the play.
Boston University challenge for potential goaltender interference.
Goaltender interference. BU hockey ops kind of bent over their laptops down to our left at our broadcast position. Here's a look at it.
As you get in, the puck is off the goaltender there. It looks like the continuation of the play. I don't see a reason to pull that back. Understand too, Boston University has used their timeout. If they are incorrect with this challenge, they will receive a minor penalty. So this challenge has a lot of consequence to it, not just to keep this a 2-goal game, but potentially to erase a power play here for the Terriers.
That they have 1:41 left of. AJ Potvin, Evan Reddick, the referees. Very quick review. There's one look. Here they come.
After further review, call on the ice is confirmed. We have a good goal. Boston University is charged a 2-minute timeout, 2-minute
There's the
minor.
explanation. So, I mean, again, you just wiped away 1:41 of a power play in a 3-goal game.
Right. Boston University will have to put a player in the box. It'll be a bench minor for delaying the game. I understand the risk, and I actually don't mind the risk. You're now 3 goals down on the road in a tough building, even if you have a power play. That was one that if you could have found a way to get it off the board if you're Jay Pandolfo, it's probably worth the risk.
And it feels like these famous vaulted ceilings of Alfond Arena are starting to cave in tonight on BU. 7-4. We're going to play 4-on-4 for the next 1:35. And then there will be an abbreviated main power play at the end of it. Fowler left it behind. Ryder Ritchie had it taken away by Nadeau. This building sensing something. Nadeau went down, no call. Hudson chasing as they announced the goal. BU through center. Boisvert dropped it off. It's Hudson dangling, sent it left. There was no one there. And now a chance for numbers. 2 main players down the right flank. Nadeau with it. Cuts back. Nadeau across! Lacroix got a piece on the drive from Durasevich. It went out of play.
Maine's counterattack there, so impressive. As soon as BU was stopped at one end, they came back with numbers and made the most out of what became a 4-on-2 up ice. Everything about this Maine offense is clicking right now. Look at this play here. You feel like there's nothing there because you have 2 men isolated on one side, but there's still 2 Black Bears uncovered on the far side to get that one-timer off. I think it might have even caught the crossbar after Lacroix got a piece of that one.
And again, this all could have been the last 40 seconds power play time for BU. Obviously, we're trying to get a goal off the board on that challenge, but think about how good their power play's been tonight. Kicked all the way back, still 4-on-4. Brandon Holt played it past Harvey, who kicked it aside. Harvey trying to chase it down. His teammate does this time. Aiden Celebrini played it out in front. Charlie Russell's there, and now ahead of steam the other way. It's Brandon Holt, had the OT winner last night, snapped it on, and Lacroix there with the glove. And Celebrini and Charlie Russell after the play.
Maine just continues to keep trying to get pucks toward the net. Officially right now, that was shot number 36 for the Black Bears in this game. 35, I might be wrong. 35 at this point, but it feels like there's been so many. The number of attempts, 72 attempts right now for Maine.
BU's blocked 23 shots. 26 was their season high last year. 23 blows away their season start. 4-on-4 for the next 15 seconds. Maine will have a power play afterwards. Dursevich had it poked by McCarthy, so Langlois goes back and sends it to center. Komarov was shoved down. And now back into the offensive zone. Down the left for Merrill, who had too heavy of a touch. Komarov gets back up, rejoins the play. Hudson in, shot, affected, second try, score! During a Maine power play, Svoboda makes it 7-5.
And for the second time tonight, a shorthanded goal for Boston University. That one, unlike the first one where you were really in a Maine power play, this was the man coming out of the box, getting Maine to the power play, and at that point they were just caught up ice. BU comes up with numbers, a good hard shot that Svoboda crashes the net on, and another goal, and we're in a 2-goal game again.
How do you make sense of 12 goals? Like, how are we here?
It's hard. It's really difficult. And again, both of these coaches, they're going to find plenty of highlights to show their offensive players, but they're going to find the lowlights to show their defense, certainly.
We have 3 shorthanded goals in the game between the two teams. We have 2 power play goals. And we have a 2-goal game again. We're back to even strength. Again, at the very end there, we were 4-on-4, and then it became a power play for Maine 5-on-4. I think we'll get an offensive zone face-off here for Maine. We will. That was a shorthanded goal for BU there, and we're at 7-5 with so much time to go in this game.
Tons. You think about, as long as you have sometimes 10 minutes in a 2-goal game, you're thinking, okay, if I get one within the next 5 minutes, we'll get the goalie pulled, we'll be good shape. You're in that situation. There's still 16 and a half left here.
And BU, by the way, gets the goal that they kind of gave away maybe after the challenge. Get the line. Boisvert dropped it right. They fed the back post. Fondra couldn't get to it on a hard pass. Komarov gets it out. And this is the part of the program where we remind you that every time BU has thrown some kind of punch, Maine has answered, not just answered in general, answered very quickly all weekend. Maybe now, get the line once again. On the left, Gerrois threw it to the back post. Komarov got into the body of the netminder Lacroix. Hudson body bumping, he did with the puck. Cole Hudson, second round pick of the Capitals, had to take it away from behind. Gerrois knocked away, picked up again. Boisvert off the right pad again of Mathis Rousseau.
The other end of the ice, we saw a really good example of Cole Hudson's defensive skill. He was in a position where he had to win a loose puck and get it out of his defensive zone. He did it so quickly. That's an unbelievable skill.
All-American and accolade All-American tonight. Justin Poirier has a goal, one of the many. Got it out of the zone. BU back the other way. Bednarik spooted forward. Nice touch on it. Sets this up. Boisvert knocked away. Great play by Brandon Chabrier. Splayed out of the ice. And now Russell blocks one. Trying to race the other way against Boumediene. They got tied up, and Sasha Boumediene saved it all. Bodie Nopes takes it away at his blue line. Ahead to Poirier. Trying to outrace two. Got around to both. Poirier knocked from behind. He drew a penalty. A slash for all to see.
That's the slash where the stick breaks. You know you're going to get the call there. Maine back to the power play.
2 minutes, slashing.
The BU already 2 shorthanded goals tonight. Do not rest on this BU penalty killers. Look at that slash right there. I mean, obvious as it gets. Again, stick breaks.
4th power play of the night for Maine. 7th power play between the two teams. 16th of the weekend. On a night where there are 2 BU shorthanded goals, like you said, and 3 shorthanded goals between the two teams, and also 2 power play goals between the two. Anyone can score. Gave it away, and it's McCarthy. They're looking to score. Get the line, Harvey. He spun away and just decided to go with the power kill. Probably the smart choice. One of the few times that anybody's made that choice all night.
It's almost a surprising choice the way things have been going. You almost just take every puck toward the net.
Cole Hudson As Friel chasing him, banked it back to the point, gave it away, and now it's Nadeau walking in, dangled by, played it left, great stick, knocked it away. And here comes Svoboda. Friel regains the line, captain, spun it across, great pass, sets up Nadeau! And saved by Max Lacroix, still free, no whistle, still axing at it, and there it is. And Friel went down. Might be something to look at with Friel there.
That was a great job by Maine. BU looked like they were going to go up the ice here, but then the ability to get that puck and keep it in. Suddenly, what looked like a 3-on-4 is a really good offensive chance there for Nadeau right in the slot, and then the ability to just keep pounding on those loose pucks. It's been very hard for Max Lacroix to tie up the puck. Many times tonight, Maine just gets relentless when they get in there.
77 shot attempts for Maine. 40 shots on goal, 13:53 to go in regulation. And now Ben Barr is talking with the referees. I think he has a conversation to be about that Friel dump.
The way he was hit at the far post, looking for a penalty there after the whistle. I understand that too.
Because in the rule book, head, neck area, especially after the whistle, that is one of the things that they're very much trying to get out of the game.
It's one of those that if you decide to challenge, though, it would have had to be a major penalty, so probably not worth the challenge from Barr.
Conversation over, a minute to go on the Maine power play. They have, I think, delayed offside.
Yeah, it was delayed offside, hit a Maine skate. Now it's going to be a question, is this going to be considered an intentional offside? I think it should be. All four officials are going to get together. They're going to actually call this just a standard offside, not going to move the face-off all the way back into Maine's defensive zone.
Hey, BU's bench, I think was aligned with you.
Joe Pereira's on the dasher asking, come on, this one, it was obvious that it was offside. It hits the skate. I think what the referees, officials are saying, it inadvertently hit the skate, so that keeps it from being intentional offside.
It's about as angry as you're going to see a bench right there. Pereira had his foot on the dasher.
That is as a la Jack Parker or Sean Walsh as you could imagine.
45 seconds to go in the never-ending power play. Back towards center, BU just try to get this ice position. They finally get it down the other end. They'll change. Maine by 2, a 6-goal second period, 2 more goals already in the third. 12 tonight as a stick goes way in the air.
Going to get another slashing penalty.
Yeah. The linesman was right there. Obviously, it's not the linesman calling the make. You're waiting for the referee to come, and finally Evan Reddick from the corner did.
Boston University penalty, number 38, 2 minutes, slashing.
Right in front of the bench. You're going to see the end of it right. The slash had already happened at that point. You saw the stick go flying. That was what was called. And now a 5-on-3 power play for the next 23 seconds here for the Black Bears.
Remember, Maine won last night in part because they killed off a BU 5-on-3.
Right. Late, yeah.
23 seconds on the 5-on-3 power play comes after that. Win the draw, Poirier, stick lifted from behind, Svoboda couldn't get it out. 2 men got connected there, they both get up. 13 seconds to go in the 5-on-3, Poirier shot, blocked McCarthy. Chases after it, spun it down to Friel. 5 seconds in the 5-on-3. Poirier walks in, spoon across, Nadeau, back to Poirier! What a save! Max Lacroix breathes life into BU, and here we go again.
One Terrier player back as the first penalty has expired, so 1:36 remaining on the Maine power play. You could see in the 5-on-3 formation, being shorthanded, BU actually a little bit more aggressive. They're getting their penalty killers a little higher there. It put some pressure on Maine, but what that does is if you have a couple of consecutive passes, it's going to leave somebody wide open That's the shot you saw. Great save there by Lacroix, moving from left to right.
And they survived that portion of this nightmare. 1:36 to go in the power play. Maine trying to blow this 48-year-old roof off. Yeah, that didn't look right. Maine fans boo the referees when they step out of the ice, even before the game starts, and so they've had a lot of practice.
I don't know that there's a crowd in Hockey East that has the ability to influence the officials as much as this building. I mean, they really do a good job of trying to sell calls for their home Black Bears.
Scott won it back. It was cleared out of the zone by Boumediene. Minute 30 to go on the power play, under 13 to go in the third. BU's trying to make this a one-goal game for the first time since the midway point of the second period. Maine's trying to take a 3-goal lead for the second time. Nadeau takes it behind, goes all the way through. He avoided a couple of men, actually did nicely to get to Poirier, who's held on the half wall, and Alfriel spins it all the way around. Chase at the half wall on the other side, but once again, Boumediene clears. Thrown back towards the offensive zone. Nadeau actually had a step, but left it behind. BU gets it back out. Still 50 seconds to go. We're nearing 4 consecutive minutes of some kind of man advantage time for Maine. Lucas Peterson zigzagging through center. On that drop pass, off to Russell. Speeds ahead, gets it left. Lipinski spun it down. Russell on it first, sets it up. Lipinski dropped it back. Right back to Russell. Down towards the doorstep. Marquez spinning away, throw it in front. Great stick again by Lacroix. Peterson tied up, 2 men around him, getting mugged and dragged down. Lipinski trying to come out of there with it. Merrill spied a shorthanded chance but didn't have the puck. Still caught up.
That was a great play by Lipinski. On the ice, just uses his stick to disturb the BU player trying to break up ice.
Even strength now. Boisvert trying to split 2 men alone. Langlois had a great stick himself. And now the other way. Owen Fowler steps ahead, takes a shot. Max Lacroix. Timeout. 10:53 to go in regulation. 7-5 Maine here in Orono. Eastern Propane and Oil is proud to partner with Hockey East to support youth hockey throughout New England. Visit HockeyEastOnline.com to get your youth team featured on social media and a chance to win Hockey East tickets. One day you can grow up and play in a game like this, and Ben Barr will yell at you for giving up 5 goals, but you're leading 7-5. Ben Barr trying to build a culture. I'm sure there are moments he's liked. I'm sure there are moments he hasn't. But he told us in his office today, at least our entertainment value's been good. He's been right tonight. And Maine's been on in this offensive zone for a long while now. Power play time's over. We're even strength. BU gets out. They're down by 2 with 10.5 to go. Langlois whiffed on the clearing attempt. It sets up this 4-man battle. Langlois on the second effort, got it up, and it's out of the zone with Thomas Pichette. That hit the linesman on the second effort, yo-yoed back to center, and it forces the tie the other way. Komarov was breaking, couldn't get it to him. Good stick, sends it ahead. McLaughlin drops it right for a shot that was blocked. Ryder Ritchie gets it back, being pushed by Nobes. Neither guy's near the puck. Now they turn away, send it back. Man open, Hudson wants it. He's on the doorstep for a shot. It was saved. Rebound came through the circle. McCarthy hit a body. It was gloved down nicely by Langlois. He plays it out of the zone.
That was a huge block by Oscar Komarov for Maine. Hudson gets that puck in the shooting position. That's where he loves to fire from. Great block.
Just the 7th Maine block of the night, at a night where BU has 25 in front again. Once again, Fondrick squares back up, sends it down. Bruins draft pick Morello comes top side. Feed the blue line, McCarthy. Sends it down past Fondrick, behind for Harvey, who gets pinned. Morello gets there, comes top side, sends it up top for Hudson. Skates right and left. Cole Hudson has a goal tonight. Cole Hudson couldn't turn the corner. Sholey all over him. Back to Fondrick. He's pressured and banks it back behind. Morello trying to step topside. Jammed it on. Left pad there. Rousseau. Back behind for Harvey off the rebound. Fondrick comes down. He's open. Instead, Harvey does send it in his direction. Cut off by Maine. Chabrier got it up to the half wall and not out for the moment. Harvey there once again sends it back. Extended possession, but nothing dangerous yet. Along the outside, Fowler tug from behind. He's got an arm all over him. Maine wanted to call again, didn't get it. Boumediene instead. 2-on-2 in the change. Boumediene! Wide to the right. Poirier getting hit from behind. Amico kicks it forward behind. Played up off the half wall, but Bednar cut it off to the middle for a shot. Rebound in front, still live. It was sticked away by Chabrier. Probably saved a goal. Instead, free on the outside once again. Backhanded on save. Rebound. They keep coming. Still free. There's a whistle. And somehow Ben Merrill was stopped.
That was probably BU's best 2 minutes in their offensive zone all night.
And still 7-5. Game's tightened up. 8:18 to go. Back in a moment from Orono.
Welcome back in, folks. Carter Amico, number 15 on Boston University, may be wearing red, but he was born a Black Bear. The native of Westbrook, Maine, grew up in the state before going to play for the U.S. Development Program, and now he's here in a Boston University jersey. The 6'6" defenseman says it was a dream to be able to play for BU, still only 2 hours from home. Now, it hasn't been an easy path for Amico. He's actually had two knee surgeries on his right knee, and he says those surgeries taught him not to take anything for granted. He's clearly back out here and ready to attack this season fully healthy.
Well, that's the thing too, and for him, it's amazing to be here. This is the thing for the freshmen on this BU roster, and there's so many of them. As Bednar gets it in, they're playing in an environment like this for the very first time. 8 to go in the third, 7-5 Maine. As Maine ices the puck.
You make a point there. There's not a lot of environments, certainly in Hockey East, but college hockey, that you can come into a building and it feels like this. So if you're a freshman in this game for Boston University, it feels overwhelming at times. There's no doubt about that. And you don't see a lot of true home ice advantages. This is one of the best home ice advantages because of the level of discomfort, the fan base, and their volume, and in the building itself, how close everybody feels to you. It can get you emotionally.
Cole Hudson played it back. That barely stayed in. McCarthy's shot punched away. Hudson walks it back. Just keep that in mind. If something goes in for BU, they'll look at it. Ritchie's shot pulled it wide. Back towards the outside. Stays in the zone. Spun all the way around. Kick forward. Boisvert left it back for Ritchie. Steps to his right. Looks across. Pass was sticked away by Scott. On the outside, Boisvert off to McCarthy, rolls it on down. Last 2.5 minutes, 9 shot attempts for BU. Maine has 0. But 7-5.
Prior to that, I was thinking about the fact that Maine just hasn't taken their foot off the gas pedal, and it's almost like you can't against BU. They have to still find a way to attack, because if you're not attacking right now, you're playing only defense.
Celebrini backhands it forward. Played along behind for Holtz. BU changing as Durasevich holds. Seen it at points. Think back to last year's Hockey East quarterfinal, UMass against BU, where they were content to weather shots late in that game and then turn the tide. Maine has already turned the tide to take the lead in this one. And long through center, Langlois got to it first and got it through center. All the way back to Boumediene. Passes across to Aiden Celebrini. Both those guys on last year's BU team. Giveaway inside. Jack Harvey hit a post.
That hit the junction of the crossbar and the post, came straight out.
Back in the other way. Speeding in. Giroir drew a penalty. A tale of 10 seconds.
Boston University, number 22, 2-minute minor, holding.
The call right there, there's the hold. And Maine back to the power play.
Seconds after the post. Aiden Celebrini sits, will step aside. 7-5 Maine, 5:55 to go. Play, and right off of it, a great block by Ben Norik, who got it back in the slot, shot, it hit the post, back in front, need a whistle. And they got one. Maine was about to finish the night. 2 posts, one for BU, one for Maine, all in the last 2 minutes.
And another block shot by Boston University right off the start of this. This was the other end of the ice before that penalty. That was how close we were to being in a 1-goal game. Instead, Maine on the power play, and it's the Black Bears that hit the post at the other end. This is just one of those games, the chances both sides.
Oh, they're going to look at it.
Maine is challenged for a potential face mask.
Look at something. Face mask.
It's a potential major penalty. That would be grasping of the face mask. That is the major penalty call. That is a changed rule this year. Last year, if you washed your hand across the front of a face mask, face washing was a major. This year, it's a minor. But grabbing the face mask itself is still a major. So let's watch as this ends. I believe it's probably going to be after their whistle that we might have the potential face mask. Right there, right there.
McCarthy. Now McCarthy on Friel on the left. You see Friel, the captain, turned around and knew immediately. And look at where his chin strap ends up. Not sure that look on its own is enough, but if you they are capable of doing it, piece the other looks together.
Sure.
To see if in fact
it's definitely potential. It's hard from our angle to see if his fingers were actually grasping the face mask or if it was just pushing on it. That would be a distinction point, I believe. So if it was a grasp, that would be a 5-minute major. And at that point, a 5-on-3 for the next minute 50, that would be, I'm not saying anything about this game would be over because the number of shorthanded goals we've had. We're going to get an overhead look at this here. Remember, this is as the play ends. Keep your eye on number 2 in red for Boston University. Comes off the post. Now he's going to put his arm around the head. That's what is being reviewed. And I still don't know that from that angle I can tell if you would call that a face masking penalty or a face washing penalty. It has to be the face masking now. It would have to be grasping, so it would have to be a major. You can't add a minor here.
Aiden Celebrini and the rest of us waiting with bated breath. And again, not to put anything past this game, but it puts Maine completely in position to carry this one out. They'd be 5-on-3 for the next minute 50. They'd have a 5-minute power play that would take us under a minute to go with a 2-goal lead. Versus, you get the next minute 50 from there.
I believe Aiden Celebrini, he's in the box for Boston University. He just asked to come out so he could stretch his legs a little here.
5:45 to go. In just an absurd game. BU scored 30 seconds in, and then all heck broke loose. Again, here's a look at it on the left there, 2-26, right there.
Here's the call.
Pass review, there is no penalty on the plate.
So Maine will be charged with their timeout. So there will be no timeouts for either coach remaining. Both have used their timeout now. It's the second unsuccessful challenge of the night.
Maine is charged with timeout.
One for each team.
No timeouts left, right, on either side because of that. And 1:50 to go on the power play that was originally there. On we go. And you get the challenge because it probably ended the game. Instead, 2-goal game. BU still on the kill. Poirier tried to end the game there. And it's clear. Brandon Holt left it back. The breakout with Scott getting hounded at all angles by Jonathan Morello. Bruins draft picks had a really nice night.
Maine's got to bring some guys back there. You don't want to get in a situation where one forechecker on the PK can cause problems.
Nice Nadeau hit, knocked a man down. Trying to set the power play. Nadeau plays it right for a shot, and Scott put it into the mitt of Max Lacroix with 4:59 to go.
1:04 left on this Maine power play. That was a pretty good penalty killing shift for Boston University. Nothing threatening from Maine in the Black Bears there. And at the other end, like I said, if you're Maine, you have to be wary of what BU's doing with their penalty kill forecheck. They're trying to put pressure on, make you make a mistake. We know how dangerous they are. Already 2 shorthanded goals in this game.
'83 shot attempts for Maine. Their season high last year when they made to the NCAA tournament was 63. 40 seconds to go on the BU kill. 12 goals between the two teams in a weekend that's seen 21 goals. Fowler fires it in. Corner to corner it goes, rounded up the way. Boumediene got it up in the air. And still knocked down in the low slot. Lacroix was patient, dealt it to Trethewey. 10 seconds. Boumediene ahead up to Trethewey. 8 seconds. Harvey with 5 seconds. Had to take it away from behind. Celebrini about to leave the box as Russell gets the zone. Weaved around. He thought he heard a whistle, so did I, but guess it wasn't. Up the wall, Fiend Chabrier didn't get all the way through. It was kicked away at the last moment. Net rattled too. Even strength hockey now. 3:43 to go. And now, as that power play expires, you start to look towards the BU net. When do they decide to pull their goaltender down too? McCarthy deals it back. Ryder Ritchie on the backhand. Another good stop from Rousseau. He's tightened this game up here in this third.
BU continues to push. They knew that they had to get through the kill. Now they do. And you see a little bit of a push right there. Gavin McCarthy coming in. Ryder Ritchie, a good backhander there. That's a dangerous shot, despite the fact it doesn't feel like much. If that's dropped by the goaltender, you had attacking players. BU at this point has pulled their goaltender. Can't take a timeout. As we mentioned, neither team has a timeout remaining. So we're going to be 6-on-5 here with 3:29 left. BU down by 2.
Empty net. Here's your game. Still up on the dot. Full humanity and force. McLaughlin got there, got it down. He wanted a penalty that he didn't get as Durasevich plays it ahead. Net empty as BU goes back to center with Cole Hudson. 3:10 to go. Hudson clears it. Hudson in for a shot, hit the pad. It's free. No defenseman there until McLaughlin came over. The forward filling the position, winds it down. Up to Holt. Holt eyes on the net, shot down the other end. Icing, 2:51 to go.
If you're Maine, take as many shots at that empty net as you can with a 2-goal lead. When you're in a 1-goal lead situation, you don't want to take the icing. You want to try to gain that red line anywhere on the ice. 2 goals, take a shot from anywhere right now.
Bednarik, Ritchie, Harvey, McLaughlin, Boisvert, and Boumediene. The 6 for BU with the net empty. Big face-off win came from Oscar Komarov. Who else? Holt ahead. Thomas Pochette on the way in. Ahead to Komarov. Good night!
An 8 spot for the Black Bears, an empty netter to kind of put the cherry on top of this. 2-on-1 finished off by Oscar Komarov. And this Maine team, which just a week ago trailed Colgate, was looking at maybe their 3rd straight loss. They came back in that game, won in overtime. Came back last night, won in overtime. They're about to win 3 straight, and they're about to sweep the number 5 team in the country here at Alfond Arena.
Thomas Pochette to Oscar Komarov, the 2 roommates. roommate to roommate to end the night. They can go home happy together. Eight goals ties the most in the Ben Barr era here at Maine. That kicked off a stanchion. Does go back to center. The most since March the 5th, 2022, when Maine beat BU 8-1. For their 7th win of the season that year. They've come a long, long way.
It certainly has.
Under 2 minutes to go. McNellis right to the first year, Matisse Rousseau, who's about to win the wildest game of his young college career, his first career win in his second career start in for Albin Boya. 8 goals tonight for the Maine Black Bears.
And I'm sure that at the end of this, Rousseau's going to look back and say, hey, I gave up 5. That's not what I want to do. But you get a win against a rival, a number 5 team in the country in this atmosphere. Even giving up 5, I'm sure any goaltender could appreciate this game.
1:40 to go. 6 different Maine goal scorers. Russell and Scott with 2. Langlois, Fowler, Komarov, and Poirier the rest. Penalties, shorties, power plays. BU's going to go to 3-5-1. Maine's going to be 5-2-1. With 1:18 to go. 3 goaltenders in the game. And a sellout crowd in here that not only enjoyed the theater, they were part of it at Alfond Arena.
They're on their feet now.
And they're going to clap their way over the final minute. A chorus of thank you. That's to the public address announcer to tell them the time. It's also for their performance tonight. For another shot wide to the right.
That was shot attempt number 90 for the Black Bears tonight.
"20 seconds. Out in front for Thomas Pichette. Assisted Komarov on the last goal. Pichette and Amico got into it. Now the linesman's got to get in there. That's a really good job by Robert Griffin to make sure that didn't get any bigger than it needed to.
Yeah, that's what these officials have to be wary here with 9.3 seconds left. You don't want some sort of an altercation to spoil the end of what's been such an entertaining hockey game, but the emotions do run high between these two teams. These are two teams with high expectations.
Boston University, number 15, 2-minute minor, roughing.
Carter Amico, freshman from Maine, has the whole state serenading him right now. Nine joyful Maine seconds to go. And something to remember, because these two teams will see each other in February on Com Ave. And they could very easily see each other a little bit closer to the water in Boston. Tonight, though, it's Maine. We heard that horn 8 times, tying the most in the Ben Barr era, and Maine sweeps BU over 2 nights at the Alfond.
Both teams are going to look back at this weekend for different reasons. Boston University, this might be a low point. You've got to find a way to come back from it. Maine, Ben Barr told us he was trying to find an identity for this team coming into this weekend. I don't know that you have the pure identity, but you have a lot of positives, a lot of great offensive positives, certainly for this Maine team.
5-2-1. BU somewhere it almost never is. They're 3-5-1. Both these coaches talked about the flaws in their teams and where they were, and you've said it throughout the night. There are going to be flaws to look at, but at the same time, it just feels like this is like the tiniest chapter 1 to whatever this season's going to be on both sides.
It is. When you have this much talent offensively, that usually can get you pretty far in the postseason. So to think that these two teams could meet up at the Garden in a regional, whatever it may be, there's going to be some future between these two teams. So keep an eye on both of these clubs. They are fantastic. They get up and down the ice well, and they certainly put an entertaining product on the ice for 2 nights here in Orono.
The 136th all-time meeting between Maine and Boston University goes to Maine. All right, let's go downstairs. Jack Webb with the winning coach, Ben Barr.
Coach, your team completes the sweep of the number 5 team in the country to open conference play. What's your takeaways from this weekend?
You know, we scored some goals. That's good. Did some good things. You know, obviously some things we can still clean up. You know, special teams, that kind of stuff. We're a work in progress, but obviously 2 wins against a really good team is a good weekend.
Russell, Fowler, Scott, your older guys got going this weekend. How big was that for your team?
It was great. I thought leadership, like Thomas Friel, Holter, those guys were awesome. Scotty, you know, like it's yeah, we're starting to gel a little bit and find our identity. We're still not quite there, but some positives.
Rousseau in for Boyd tonight. What went into that decision, and what'd you make of his game between the pipes?
I mean, it's hard. He's a great kid. I thought he played well. He made some big stops, especially in the 3rd period. We didn't, you know, 2-on-0s, 3-on-1s, I mean, it's hard to judge our goaltenders when we're giving up some chances like that. So, you know, I'm happy he got his first win.
Finally, where do you think your team grew the most this weekend?
You know, just proving to ourselves that we can play hard and heavy at times. You know, like still some things we can fix, no question. But you know, it's always fun to be here in the Alphon with these people. So it's a fun weekend.
Coach, thanks so much. Congrats, guys.
Man, thanks, Jack. and that's it, right? You know, you heard him say it. We're starting to gel here. And Maine shows it tonight. They feel dangerous.
They are a very dangerous team. If the goaltending strengthens up, defense strengthens up, this is a team to watch. Same thing for Boston University. Plenty of talent on both sides. This was awesome hockey. I'm so glad we got to come to Orono for this one.
Back at you. All right, let's say goodnight. From Orono, Maine, what a college hockey night. Big thanks to Ryan Leffler and Marissa Tripp leading our outstanding crew here tonight. For Jack Webb ringside, for Jimmy Connolly here, I'm Cooper Boardman. Good night from the Alphon. Maine scores 8. We see 13. And the Black Bears sweep the BU Terriers. We'll talk to you next week. This has been Hockey East on NESN.